The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. How y'all doing? It's Monday. Wow. God, this freaking weekend felt long. We've had a couple days off of work. Usually we only get uno.
Whoa, okay.
Uno. Wait, what's day?
Diaz.
I'm trying. Ever
know
since
why I
my
said
speech
dia.
last week about not trying, and I really thought about how when people try in English, even if they know nothing, I'm always like, good. Like, yeah, I've never once said to someone that goes, my English very bad. I've never gone, it is.
Yeah.
I've always gone, no, I'm like so impressed. And I've never not meant that, even if they know literally only know how to say my English very bad.
And I appreciate you saying that to me. Or not saying that to me.
Oh, to you about your English being...
I messed that up.
That's
I even
funny.
messed up that English. I didn't even say that right. Yo soy excelente.
Though, I was reading last I was reading last night about oh my god, what Reddit is the only place where I get at literally every talking point I have. It was some video and it was talking about how it was talking about memory. That's so funny. It was talking about memory and how it was explained like I'm 5. And it was asking, why do I always forget things that I used to be a master of? You know, a couple months ago, let's say you learn a song on piano and then 2 months pass, you never play it and you don't know any of it. And they explain like I'm 5, which is amazing because they explain it to you like you're 5, is that your brain needs to constantly make room for more information. So when you don't use another thing, like say you learned how to hunt for a certain type of berry and you found the berry and you ate the berry and whatever, and then a month goes by and you don't hunt that berry anymore. Well, clearly that berry didn't taste good. It didn't like fulfill you. So let's lose how we found out how to get that berry because we got to learn how to find more berries. Because the other night I was trying to play a song on guitar that I practiced so much.
Nothing?
1 week and I already forget all of the chord transitions and you get it back, but it's slags. And but anyway, they said about language, it made me think of Hilaria Baldwin. Now, one of the most damning videos about her being fake Spanish was when she was on the Today Show and she was talking about, she was doing a cooking segment and she is English speaking is her native language. And she was looking at cucumbers and she was like, and then you put in how you say cucumber, and she struggled for cucumber. But a lot of people in this thread were saying that when their native language, they forget certain words when they've been speaking another language pretty often. It doesn't even have to be like they've only spoken that language. It's like you forget. So I learned to cut her some slack that maybe she actually did forget the word for cucumber because it was just there were so many people going, I always forget like simple words in my native tongue.
Yeah. It is weird because like I can remember certain rap songs or certain things that you never would think would stay in your brain. And then other things you can't recall when you want to. It's an interesting, because there's probably some songs that you probably learned around the same time that are still in there somewhere. So it's interesting that your brain gets rid of certain things and not
So what do you
others.
say to somebody who hate or anyone trying to make WA? Want to resolve things in a bloody way? Just study a tape of NWA. One day I was walking by with a Walkman on when the Walkman on.
Bah. I could be your hype man. There's 7 different levels of devil worshiping: horses, human sacrifices, cannibalism, candles and exorcisms, animals, having sex with them, camels, mammals, and rabbits. But I don't get into that. I kick the habit.
Wait, who is that? Is that Eminem?
Shakespeare. Call back, ham drip, 9 episodes.
I like when you give a timestamp, which isn't even accurate.
It might be right.
I'm going to go 6 episodes.
Okay, that's not way off. But anyhow, that's Eminem in a song called Dead Wrong, where Biggie Smalls. Do you have a song in your head, Noah? Go. Don't even think.
I can't do it. I don't listen to lyrics.
You don't know any.
I can't.
What about Candyman tempting the thoughts of us, sweet tooth, tortured by weight loss, program cutting the corners of loose end. That was going to be my joke for a while, though. That's the only rap that white people know.
Yeah.
Is that Dave Matthews.
And the Bare Naked Ladies one.
Oh, yeah.
And Billy Joel. We didn't start the fire.
What's the Bare Naked Ladies one?
Fuck.
It's been 1 week. Isn't that song?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, probably shouldn't use that then because we can't remember it. But again, that's something.
Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watch the next files with the lights on. We're down the maison. Oh, the smoke is this one. The kerosene for no getting frantic. Looks like a dance trick. Looks like you're getting to see the sun.
Now that's so funny because I had I lost it. And then you said 2 words. And it just.
I know. That's what I needed the other day when I looked up this chord transition. I needed 1 chord, and then I remembered because when I'm learning songs on the guitar, I learn like a pattern of like, okay, then my hand goes in this way, then it goes over here. I don't go by sound of like that note because I don't know what chords sound. I can't conjure it out of my mind. I just go like, okay, that song goes in a clockwork fashion, and then I memorize the patterns.
Yeah,
it's weird how memory, what you do to remember things. Like, do you have any devices to remember things in your life?
Well, it's interesting you say that because I was driving over here and I was just, sometimes I'll go over new bits in my mind just to see if I can remember it for when eventually I do say it.
You're so good about that.
I'm okay.
I used go over bits in your mind is amazing.
Well, I was driving and like the new grandma bit, I just wanted to make sure I could hit
the spot. Yeah.
So what I do is like to remember it, I'll separate, it's a little thing, but I'll separate it in paragraphs. So each joke, I'll just, when I'm writing it in my notes, just separate where it's new.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I separate it. Then the other thing that I've noticed is that if I don't try to speed through it and just like let it come to me don't try to push it, I can remember things way easier.
I think, do you ever do the thing, which I think you're hinting at, is that you rely on yourself to discover where it's going the way you discovered it when you wrote it.
Oh.
Like,
and then you could add things.
Of course that thing will lead me to the grandma part when I say she's 100 is going to lead me. Because when I think of someone who's 100, I think of that thing. That's the thing I thought of when I thought of that joke. Where you just kind of count on that. When I was smoking so much weed and like performing, it was, I would say, 30 times a show, I would be in the middle of a sentence and go, I don't know how this ends. I don't know how this, and it's so much different than a song, you guys, or like just any sentence, let's say you're memorizing a speech, you're giving your company or something. I have to say that I think comedy is more crucial to memorizing details because it's reliant on it being a joke at the end. And if it's a specific thing, whereas if you're like talking about, and then our numbers last year were on a steady incline throughout the September, I can't even think of any business words.
Keep
you can just make up things because no one's listening anyway, and it doesn't rely on them going, oh,
That's so funny you say that though, because I think we both, when we had to give speeches in school, for me, that's what you were doing right there. If I had to do that in front of like an office, would scare the living shit out of me. Maybe after I've done it a few times.
I was just scared of boys thinking of ways to make fun of me.
Gotcha. I was scared that I wouldn't remember the words.
I felt bad that everyone in the room had to look at me. And like, I was probably like so ugly that like the boys were like, I don't want to look at her, Miss Gross, she's ugly. Like I thought there would be something like that of like, hey,
Miss
Ray,
Gross,
you need to pay attention. Well, she's like ugly and I don't even want to. That was my biggest fear, was that they were going to, because boys always do that shit. I'm so tired. Like boys do it all the time of like, you call them on something and then they instantly hurt someone to like deflect.
I mean, we've seen that a lot on Perfect Strangers.
Yes.
I mean, within seconds, they go from cool, chill, Balky's like chill, and then you deny him once, and then you see his true murderous instincts. It's pretty interesting.
It's people need to, and I'm included in this, people need to be okay with being wrong.
Not be defensive.
Or making a mistake. Sometimes you are talking during a presentation of a student's, and the teacher is going to yell at you. That's a normal thing to be reprimanded about. Sometimes you are talking too loud in a restaurant or something. just suck it up and realize that you made a mistake, and you're allowed to make mistakes. You don't always have to have a defense. You don't always have to go, but it's because you were. Or, well, it's because I thought this thing.
I mean, driving here that happens every
Just
single day.
own it and say, oh, yeah, I fucked up. Are you living in a world where you have never made a mistake? There are some people who walk around truly thinking that they've never done anything wrong and will have an excuse for every bad thing that has ever happened to them every time they've been arrested or pulled over or broken the rules. There's always an excuse.
It's never.
Sometimes
they never pointed
you
at you.
just hurt people's feelings because you get angry. Sometimes you just are an asshole. The other day I was defending someone, online called me a bitch and was like, oh, she treats her family and all of her friends like such. She thinks she's better than them. And I was like, the reason you know this is because I put it on my podcast.
Yeah.
You do the same thing.
Yeah.
You're talking about I'm sometimes rude to my family. Oh, you mean the meme that you see every Christmas when people are around their family? I live around my family. I work with my family. I admit sometimes I get a little bit, I get either hormonal. This is not an excuse, by the way. These are different than excuses. Like sometimes I get angry and I am backed into a corner and I have no coping mechanism because I'm a flawed person that doesn't have it all figured out, and I lash out at the people I love. And it sucks, but at least I could say that's what happens instead of going, well, they deserved it. Well, they came at me first. It doesn't matter. Like, just own some shit, you guys. Just, and not you besties, but like, just being able to say
a few of the besties need to own it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few of them.
There's a few.
I'm sure there's someone listening to here who's gotten defensive about something.
They gotta learn.
Well,
No,
I even have to remind myself of this.
When someone like cuts you off while driving, and my first instinct is to murder their whole family.
No, I got you. You want me to do an impression of you driving?
Yes.
Okay, what are you doing? What? Okay, well then go.
Well, then
What
go,
is this guy
motherfucker.
doing? What is this?
But then if I
And that was
just
just
get one of these, and I know it's the cheesiest thing ever, but if a driver cuts me off and goes,
Like, I'm sorry.
just
Mea culpa.
this, and
Yeah.
sometimes this is funny
He's
because
lifting his hand up.
you could run over someone's dog, and then you're like, my bad. Like, it
Yes.
doesn't work all the time.
Sure.
But
Putin can't be like,
Yeah, were you carrying? My bad.
yeah.
Which I'd forgive him. No, I wouldn't.
No,
but it's just
I've
hilarious.
gone on record and said I would forgive literally. It doesn't mean that I'm okay with what they did and that I'm not still angry about the fucking ramifications of what they did. But I think anyone who goes, my
bad.
well, this gets back into the Sam Harris thing, and maybe new listeners haven't heard me on this spiel before, but like anytime the book Free Will, he has this example of a crazy guy that shot up a bunch of people at like the University of Texas in the 70s. And he's from he was at a clock tower or something like that on campus and just picking people off. Mass shooting, one of the like first big ones in the nation in modern times, I think. And everyone was like, obviously this guy's the fucking worst and let's throw him in jail and everything. And then I think he died either during the thing or later on, and they examined his brain and they realized that there was a tumor growing on some part of his brain that that often triggers anger.
His gun?
Yeah, that triggers your finger to go to Walmart and buy a gun. And everyone goes, oh, okay, it's not his fault. It wasn't like, yes, he did something crazy, but whenever there's a tumor growing on someone's brain or they have rabies, let's say, and they attack everyone, whatever it is, that dog had rabies. It didn't mean to attack. Whereas if a shark attacks a guy, it's like we have to fucking kill that shark. Yes, we kill an animal with rabies too, but we have a little bit more sympathy for the animal that has rabies. But if you open up anyone's brain after they murder someone, or if they cut someone off in traffic, after they lie to you and cheat on you, something in their brain that was not in their control did it. It might not be a tumor, but everything you do is your brain. So if we're going to excuse people with tumors in their brain, we should excuse everything because none of it is up to us.
Can I just say something? Like
everything is
I
your
get what
brain.
you're saying, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't want to stop that person and put
No,
them
that
in
doesn't.
jail.
That's different
and,
than stopping someone.
Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah. I guess forgiveness is different than stopping.
Yeah, stopping, you do it to protect the public. Yeah, you put this isn't to like, oh no, we shouldn't put murderers behind bar. I mean, that's preventative, but it's not punitive. We're not doing it to be like, you're bad and we want you to suffer because you chose to do this.
We want to
keep
keep you away
that person
from.
didn't choose to get molested by their dad and then fucking beat by their mom, neglected by their school, and then
what Eminem? Eminem?
No, what were you gonna say?
Going back to the criticism point that you were making. So I was a person who was not able to really handle the criticism, and I would react to it as opposed to respond. I now can take criticism. I can withhold a reaction, but I have a hard time responding to it. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of hit a roadblock, because it's like you just don't know how to communicate that acknowledgement.
Can you give an example of that, Noah? Like, what do you mean by how to respond to it where it's like not too vicious or not too soft?
No, it's not even that. It's just kind of like validating the other person. Yeah, like if, let's say, I do something, I don't know. Let's say I'm arguing with my partner, and he has a pretty valid point about my irrationality, which I know is a thing that I've been working on. But then it's like, okay, you know what? This is something I've been working on. So here it is manifesting again. But I can't verbalize that he's right about it. It's hard for me. And I think a lot of people kind of hit that roadblock, and they just tend to.
But why is that? Because you're kind of giving. Are you saying like?
Yeah. What's the roadblock there?
I know what it is. In my family growing up, we would just have arguments and then we would disperse. There was never like a conversation about what started the argument. We would just like slam the door. Everyone goes to their room, and then 2 hours later, we all meet in the kitchen, and it's like nothing happened. We just avoid it. So I just don't know how to talk about it. It's very hard for me.
Yeah, I think the key is to when you get criticized about something, even if you're like completely like this person's so out of line, is to try to figure out how, because I've dealt with this too with my partner, of like not understanding how they could feel that way and being like, but I didn't mean to do that. So get over it, and like, what's the issue? Like, I don't ever mean to hurt you. Or let's say I think that it's about saying, I'm really sorry that I made you feel that way. It's something that I'm working on, and clearly I'm not working on it hard enough. And these are important moments to bring to my attention so that I can be more vigilant about it. But I promise you, like, it's something at this moment that's out of my control, and I would really like you to stay on me about this. And I know that it was probably hard to confront me, and I'm sorry that it makes you feel bad. It's just something that it's a way of communicating, or whatever you did, that I developed out of fear, anger, and sadness. So when I'm feeling those, I go to, like, this could even be said for literally anything. Like, if you get caught shoplifting. Like, this is something I've developed to make me feel better, and I know it's wrong, but I can't help it because I need to stop. And the only way to stop a bad habit or a defense mechanism is to have it be shown to you. So as hard as that is, you have to like thank that person for being able to show you how you hurt people, because we have to be accountable to hurting people even if we don't mean to. And it's so hard. It fucking sucks hearing that maybe people have been talking about you behind your back, saying like you're like, and then someone finally that's the thing that really gets me, is when people have been like,
it's been like conjuring. Yeah,
it's been a conversation going on.
Yeah.
It's an intervention of sorts where it's like, why didn't you just say this right away? Why am I coming up to a
remember
list
that
of things?
We've all done the same thing. You know
but
what
then
I mean?
you realize it's because you have created you don't seem, because they have a fear of confrontation. So like your fear that's causing you to be whatever way to them is stoking their fear of confrontation. And so they should have maybe brought it to you sooner. But also, like, but that doesn't mean you get to be like, well, you should have brought this to me sooner. I'm just fine doing what I do. It's like there's this great book I'm reading called On Living, I think is the name of it. And it was about living in the gray area of life. And there was a part I highlighted to share on the podcast, and I'll do it in a little bit. But it's, God, this book is so freaking good. It's, On Living by Kerry, Kerry, Egan, Egan. And it's, she's a chaplain in a hospice. And she's the person that goes in and like they just tell all their secrets to all these people at the end of their life and their lessons. And like, it's just so much better than I thought it would be. I'm learning like so much, and it's exactly what we're talking about here is a whole chapter. But let's go to break. Andrew!
Yeah, coming in.
All right, we're back. Hey guys, I want to remind you that I'm coming to Canada. We are coming to Canada very soon. I don't know who is going to go with me to Canada. I'm guessing you, Andrew.
I guess so.
We're coming to Canada. April 8th and 9th, I believe, are the dates. Let me just double check it. Yep, I'll be in Winnipeg on April 8th, and on the 9th, I will be in Vancouver. So make sure you get tickets to those, nikkiglaser.com. I've been to Vancouver. I don't know that I've been to Winnipeg.
I don't think I've been to Winnipeg. I've been to Vancouver. Very clean city, from what I remember.
Oh my God, so clean.
I don't know why. I went there going to Alaska. I think I took a cruise and came back to Vancouver, potentially. I just remember I saw Les Mis there for like the third time.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, I've seen Les Mis in many different venues.
Have you been to Vancouver, Noah?
I think I was with an ex on tour, but it was like probably like one day, so I don't remember much
Like
from
just
it.
one night, yeah.
Just like one.
Yeah,
night
I just
in
remember the
Vancouver.
shopping district has like a hill going up.
Yeah, it's a hill. I
And
remember a
then
hill.
There's
I
like
do. I really
yeah,
do. It's
there's
on the water. Like
yes,
hill.
on the
Yeah.
water. Yes, there's a hill on the water. It's almost like San Francisco-y kind of.
Yeah.
And then I know that there's a huge population of Chinese there because something to do with Hong Kong. I don't know. Someone was describing it to me of like there, and then I was staying over at the Westin. There's a beautiful hotel there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to Winnipeg.
And Winnipeg is there.
Did you know that the
Like, you
Winnipeg
don't know.
is the capital? Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, wait, that was Vancouver. Winnipeg, though, is the capital and largest city of the province of what? I would never get this. Man,
Explain.
Chester.
Va.
Ba.
Perfect.
Oh my God, you didn't even get to that. Manitoba. Perfect. Oh my God.
I didn't know there could be capitals of provinces.
Geographically, let me just look where Winnipeg is just so I understand. Whoa. I had no idea. I thought Winnipeg was going to be on the West Coast. Guess what state it's above? I have to look at what state this is, by the way.
I mean, Michigan?
Kinda. Yeah, it's on the like if you like the border of Michigan and I'm guessing that's fucking Montana or something. South Dakota.
I
North
love that
Dakota?
you're like, I would assume it's West Coast because that's where Vancouver is, and that's how you should do a tour. And
I know. Exactly. I'm basing this
That's
off of
what
the
you're
fact that
basing
my
it.
agents should probably schedule me so I'm not flying across a fucking continent.
You're like
one
Atlanta.
night.
Okay, I'm doing 2 shows in Atlanta
Vancouver,
and
sorry,
San
I'll be
Francisco.
fucking tired for your show. No, I won't be. I sleep so well on a plane. Yeah, Winnipeg is like straight above, God, it's going to be cold as fuck still. Michigan and whatever state is next to Michigan at the very top. I don't know the United States as well as I should. Yeah, and what else about Winnipeg? I just want to read some facts so we can learn something. You know what my favorite thing to go to is famous people from there, but they don't have that on there. That's usually for colleges. Whenever I'm doing a college, I always look at notable alumni.
Yeah.
And it's always funny to go like, the man who invented the wheelbarrow handle. And you're just like, good job, guys.
University of Rhode Island.
Yep. Winnipeg the Bear. Wait a second. There's
Oh, I have
Winnipeg
one.
has
The Capitals.
What do you got? What do you
Good
got?
hockey.
Okay, Winnipeg was the first city in the world to develop the 911 emergency number.
Whoa, cool Winnipeg fact.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that came
Okay, that's
to
my-
America?
That's really
I
good.
wonder how many people were getting like stabbed there. They're like, we got to get a number. I
need
mean, I can't
something.
keep dialing this long without you know what I mean? Like,
Whoa, wait a second. Remember when I said last week I didn't know anything about Inuits?
Yeah?
Well, the Winnipeg Art Gallery has the biggest collection of contemporary Inuit art in the world.
There you go.
Interesting.
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 Man, Winnipeg is actually pretty freaking gorgeous. Okay, sweet. So we're coming to Winnipeg and we're coming to Vancouver. And Winnipeg, we know all these facts now. In Vancouver, we know it has a hill. So
Yes.
tell us what more we can learn
It's
about
interesting that you can learn more about a city reading 2 sentences versus us going there for a year.
it. It's insane. You know what I want, though, when I go into town, which we often get from like the drivers or whatever, is like, what's the thing to make fun of here?
Yes.
You know, like what's the thing that we can reference?
And the most crime city.
I mean, I have a joke where I just like fill in a blank of like the most crime, the part of the city. I always ask the driver, if your partner wanted to go pick up a Craigslist item from this part of town, give me the part of town that you'd go like, you're not going there.
Yeah.
And I go, and also don't make it a black thing. Don't pick the part of town where there's
smart.
like make it like the white shitty part of town, because I don't want that energy.
You asked me the other day where St. Louis was.
Oh, this was hilarious, Noah.
And,
He said
I've
a
lived
million.
there for how long?
You lived there a year and a half.
Yeah.
And on a map, did you look at on the map now?
No, I would say on a map would be kind of cheating. But even on a map, I'd have trouble.
On a map, will you pull up can I send you a blank picture
Yeah.
picture of Missouri, and I want you to just point where you think we are?
No, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think I have too much skin between my nose and my top lip for the shaved face?
No, I think you look really good. I like this better than the
Okay.
goatee, to be
Wait.
honest with you.
Wait,
All right, I'll
you
take
have more skin? What are you talking about?
That's why I grow my hair on my face. My dad too. We just have the Collins have
Too much skin here, Andrew.
Yeah.
It's a normal amount of skin.
Yeah,
Look at
it looks great.
Who told you
looks
that?
like the same amount as mine.
Yeah, who said
Thanks for
that
me.
to you as a kid? Was it your dad?
I don't know. My dad always had a mustache, and I believe my mother told me it's because of his
So there we
of
go.
this thing.
Of
What's
that.
that thing called where you have the asshole on your top lip?
Oh,
Kind of
Cupid's bow? No, not Cupid's bow.
cliff.
Okay.
All right, did you send me Missouri?
No, here you go. I want you to just on this map, hold this up and show it to the camera, and then show me where Missouri is, and then I want to show you where we are.
Oh fuck.
So that's a map of the United States. Don't touch it too much because it's a.
Okay, so there's the map.
Yep, there's the map, buddy.
Oh, man.
Where's Missouri? Where's the place you've lived a year and a half?
I swear to God, I'm not fucking around, but I'm guessing this one.
Wait. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Now zoom in on that and tell me where St. Louis is.
Here's the only reason why I would know. Mm-hmm. Is because I've driven to Chicago.
Okay, well that's helpful.
I would say it's right here by the corner here.
By the corner there. Wait, on the top or bottom?
Bottom.
No.
Not complete bottom.
Just in that little.
Oh, shit. I would say it's southeast, but not fully southeast. So south, just below center.
Just below center. Well, you're very wrong.
Okay, where is it?
It is completely center. That little bulge that sticks out of Missouri.
Yes.
That's St. Louis. The little bulge on the not the bottom bulge, not the little boot heel.
Yeah.
The side bulge. But the thing is,
Okay, here's the thing.
But I don't know fucking anything about anywhere, so I wouldn't blame you.
No,
I mean,
know.
I do blame you for living there a year and a half. I think at some point, in a year and a half, I would have looked up on a map where I am, but maybe not. I have to say that I did think Los Angeles on a map. If I would have just picked it on California map, I would have put it way higher than it is. It's so low.
Okay. Also, Connecticut, New Jersey, all that shit.
Yeah.
Conne-
That's a nightmare. That's a fucking nightmare. I don't know where New Jersey is. I don't know where Connecticut is. I don't know where any of that is.
How long have you lived in New York?
I used to think
Where's
Boston
New York
was
City?
below New York. New York City, I know that because it's this fucking stupid island that sticks out.
Okay.
Or like that's not sticks out, but it's kind of like centered in
Is
between.
Connecticut north or south of New York?
It's north.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're right. My brother lives in Connecticut.
Because I just know when I'm driving to like Rhode Island or something for a wedding, I had to pass through Hartford. Like you see Hartford on Waze places, and then you also see you go through New Jersey on other places. So I think driving does help you a lot.
And the bigger the state, the easier it is to know. Because, like, we have a general idea of where things are in the whole country. I could pick a state.
Yeah.
But when they start getting real little,
They get too little.
they get little in there.
They get so little.
It's like they're finding the last piece of a puzzle.
But then
that
they
you
get
can't-
too square. Some of them are just squares, and you're like, "Come on, square, differentiate yourself from the other squares." Like
give us one
Nevada
more.
gives me a little bit because it kind of like tilts to the side. on what-
Arizona and Nevada are the same state, I think.
No, Arizona's pretty square.
No, it's like a
I
trapezoid
don't know.
almost.
They're pretty.
It is. Fuck.
Like one
I
side
don't know
of the flat,
shit.
I think.
Texas, though, I could tell you where Dallas is. I could tell you where Houston is. I could.
Oh, really?
San
I don't know
Antonio.
any of that stuff. None. I mean, it would be comical for me to place different towns in Texas.
I met a guy the other day from Iowa, and he was
Yeah.
trying to describe where he was from, and I was like, I don't even know the place you're using as a reference.
Yeah. Well,
You know
Missouri
what I mean? He's
has
like,
like
you know, Iowa City. It's about 3.5 hours southeast
I
of
know
there.
when they
and-
say that, I'm just like, oh boy, why did I ask?
Yeah. What am I
God.
doing here?
Oh God. Yeah, they go, it's a small town in Iowa. Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
where?
I mean, you know Des Moines.
Yeah.
So if you take 95 south,
Uh huh.
and then it's about 30 miles east of the Haven's
Oh, that
exit.
seems like a nice area. That's what you got to say
No,
too.
it's actually shithole. I wouldn't let my wife go pick up a crib on Craigslist.
They always sell it to you too. People always sell it to you. Like if they live in a place that isn't.
I feel like they don't. A lot of times people are
Really?
like, "Oh, don't even worry about it. It's just
Oh.
a fucking shitty town. You don't
I've
even
been
know."
sold a lot lately.
Really? On the golf course?
Yeah, the guy will be like, "Yeah, I'm from Glen."
Well, those
Glenbrook
are white people with a
Springs,"
lot of
and-
money who are very proud of they're probably from rich parts of town. I'm talking to mostly like PAs who are like, "Oh, I'm just from this fucking shitty town outside of Wichita. I don't need to tell you about it."
True.
I'm not talking to the elite.
Yeah, the elite golfers of.
I mean, you're playing some golf courses that are fucking
I guess these
expensive
people
as
are
shit.
pretty
Those people are
rich.
rich.
It is funny though. The guy was like, "There's some golfers or just people you meet in general where they'll tell you a story that they've told thousands of times, right?
Yeah.
And they don't want a story from you. They're not good listeners. They tell their story, they get their story out, and then that's the end of the conversation. And then you're like, well, do you want to know a little bit about me?
No, they don't. They don't.
So he told me this story. He's like, so we had this rich
I've
guy
seen
bought.
you-
This guy goes, this rich guy bought the what's the dock area, like the waterfront area, and he was gonna redevelop it, but not. But the people spoke, and we got together, and we filed a lawsuit through the one lawyer in town. And I'm like, what is this? Like, how many times have you? And we won it back, and we wanted the.
He had all the point. He was practicing on his delivery on the way over.
Yeah. And then I was like, and then that was the end of the story. And I was like, you don't even care if I'm listening to this story.
Yeah,
you just
it
need to
doesn't
get it out
matter.
of your mouth. I don't know. It's interesting.
I watched my man was talking. I remember like I was walking in front of him talking to someone else behind me, and like this guy was just talking. Like my man had a story that was like
Your
in
partner.
in the same. Yeah, my partner had a
okay.
story that was like in the same ballpark as this guy's story. Probably a better story actually than this guy's. So the guy gets done telling a story, and he does, and we talked about it later. The guy did not give. I heard Chris try to start the story like 5 times, and he would just keep talking over it, and it got to the point where it's just like, oh God, I cannot wait to talk about what I'm witnessing right now, because it was just this guy. Just some people just don't give a fuck about anyone but themselves.
They don't want that. They don't give a fuck.
Get
about
those people out of your life. That's why I'm just like, when I hear people complain about someone being like, when people just complain about other people constantly, this has happened with my mom, this has happened with certain friends of mine, where like all they do anytime someone's name comes up, a friend of theirs, a family member, it's always just
negative.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just go, why do I have to suffer and hear all of this? Stop hanging out with them. But their family, I don't care. They're abusive. They're mean. They will never ever compliment the new sconces you made, Mom. That's the thing that bugs me about people complaining about people. People don't change unless they're actively going to like a 12-step program or going to therapy or going to do ayahuasca or meditating every day. People don't change. So you complaining about a person that fucking only talks about themselves.
And you don't bring it up to
always is
them.
passive aggressive
Yeah.
to you. Always, like those people, if you're waiting, you're at some point, you enjoy it. You enjoy having
gossiping.
an enemy in your life. You enjoy having something
Yeah.
to bitch about.
Yeah.
And this person gives you that because the person's not going to change. My mom and dad have both complained about certain people in their lives for years and years. And I just leave the room now because it's every time I go, why do you hang out with this person? If every time you talk shit about them, and they go, well, because they're my friend, Nikki. What am I supposed to do? And I'm like, because I do enjoy. Sometimes I do enjoy hanging out with it. I go, do you? Because I've never once. What is the benefit you getting out of this person? And I've had to ask myself that sometimes about people. And then I go, wow, I'm just keeping them around so I have stories to tell about how fucking awful they
complain
are to my
about
own.
'em. Yeah.
Because sometimes people are so fascinatingly awful that it is fun to hang out with them. I used to have a friend where I would wait for him to ask me anything about myself. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, every day with you. Come on, just
Oh
ask
my
me.
God.
Come on.
Stop.
No,
I
let
can't-
us fight.
I can be that way
No.
sometimes.
I'm fucking
but
around.
I
know
do
you've
find
been-
that I try to care about other people's lives. But when I have something, I understand like recently with Chris, I've been like just really talking about my life constantly and not asking about his because he's so helpful and he has no problem just giving me just listening. And I get off the phone, I'm like, I didn't ask him anything about him, and it's like, we can't live like this. I can't do this.
I do this thing where, and I think you sometimes will do it to me, and I've done it many times, where you'll ask someone a question so they could do their thing just so you could get to your thing. So you pretend, you go, oh, that's interesting. Anyways, here's...
I really try not to do that. I think that's what I mean. If
I've done it with Ari.
that,
Ari
it's-
goes, "Did you call me to ask me at all about my kid or my life, or did you just call to like tell me that you putted well today?"
I
And I'm like,
know.
"Oh, shit!
You're like, Ari, how'd you putt today? He's like, what are you talking about?
I don't even
didn't
play golf."
That's such a pet
no,
peeve
you
of
wanna-
mine. Sorry. It's such
Yeah?
a pet peeve of mine.
No.
What's
when,
that? How
please.
so?
No, well, like when you say something that happened to you and then someone else just has to make it about themselves, even if they talk about friends of theirs that you don't even know. Instead
I
of
mean,
asking you a
it
follow-up
is-
question about your experience.
out of control. How it's Noah. Every bestie listening right now knows this person.
They know.
Get
Yeah.
them out of your life.
Yes.
Everyone, they need to be called on it or get them out because this is what makes me more mad than people like that are people that still are friends with people like that and put up with someone that it just doesn't care about them. I remember one of the last straws with a friend of mine. We were like best friends, but a lot of our friendship was based on doing drugs together. And when I say that, it sounds like we're doing hard drugs. It was just smoking pot and like going on MySpace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think he had a crush on me. And then I think that he was a little annoyed because at one point I was like, listen, we are never going to be anything more than friends ever, ever. And I need you to know that and be okay with that if we're going to be friends. And he
How
said
did
he
you
was,
bring that up though? Like, did you just have a feeling about the dude?
Yes, because anytime I talked about other guys, he would kind of shut down. Anytime, and I loved this guy so much, and he was such a good friend of mine. It would be like me saying that to you. Like if you were like I would want your friendship so bad because you mean more to me than that weirdness that I would be able to confront that with you. You know, like there's some people you can confront things with.
And get through it.
Yeah,
where
and
then
he
you go,
wasn't
"Oh,
a
okay."
mean,
Yeah.
caustic person, so he wasn't going to be mean to me about it. But he was really sweet and understanding. But then the more his drug use and drinking got worse, and by the way, this is always people who drink, generally. People who abuse drugs, like they are the most selfish people on the planet, and not because they're bad people, but because they're in pain and they are... Being an alcoholic, you learn when you get into like 12-step stuff, any kind of addict is the most selfish person on the planet. So if you're surprised that someone who drinks quite often is selfish and everything is about them, don't be. That is the way they were born. Like that's a part. That'd be like you have a cold and you don't have the sniffles. That would be insane. If you're like,
Yeah,
this person has a cold
yeah.
and they're like totally tucking clearly, you'd be like, well, that doesn't go together. But that's how much being a narcissist is a part of being a drug addict or any kind of addict. But I remember one time this guy, I was just like, I remember I was very much less mature and not at the point I am in my life, and I was dependent on him for drugs and friendship. So I remember telling my mom, like, he never asked anything about me or the family or anything. And he was a friend of the family, and he came over one day, and we were just testing to see how long it took before he asked anything about us, and it never happened. And it was an hour's hangout.
What would he do? Just talk about his own life?
Anything that would come up, it would just become about him, and there would be no comment on the thing that we would be like, oh, my dad would like show him this new fucking artifact that some guy from a movie set made. And it would just, it would maybe be like cool, and then it would be something about him. You know what I mean? And that was the day I was just like, I'm done. And
did you ever bring it up to him?
No, because at that point, it's about alcoholism. It's not about his personality. And I think I knew that even then. Like, people, if you have someone in your life who's abusing drugs or alcohol and you're trying to fix these little idiosyncrasies about the personality, stop. Don't waste your time. It's not even the alcohol. It's about their self-esteem and being able to handle the pain that they are going through based on childhood trauma, just fucking whatever they're dealing with.
Yeah.
That's the basis of it. It's not about the alcohol even. It's really complex, but they can't. The best thing you could do is go, I can't be friends with someone. I can't be friends with you. They have to like lose stuff, unfortunately. Let's get to the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
Nikki, how's this smile, right? Wait.
There you go.
It feels so it had to have felt ridiculous for a while when you started doing that smile. No?
Oh, no. I was telling them last night that my smile, one time we were saying who we look like celebrities. And I one time got Wallace and Gromit from a guy I liked, which Wallace and Gromit is that cartoon where everyone's like this. And I used to smile like this, like with my teeth closed.
No, you didn't.
Yes, because why wouldn't you smile like this with your teeth closed like this? Like, that's how I smile. Like, that's me smiling with my teeth closed.
Yeah.
That's not me trying to be Wallace and Gromit. That's just... But then I realized it makes you look so jawy when you smile like this. Like, even if I'm trying to do it like little, it still looks jawy, right? Now, watch this. Now I have a longer jaw. So what I do when I smile now, ever since 2000, probably 13, when I started seeing myself on TV, I open my mouth slightly and I go, hey.
Yeah,
Any picture you will never see me smile.
You gave us a tutorial on
Oh,
the
that's
podcast.
right. Okay.
Now I do it all the time.
Yeah, so you got to say, hey, hey,
Hey.
hey,
Hey.
hey.
and it doesn't look like I have my mouth open.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Come here a lot.
Yeah, and Andrew, fresh-faced Andrew, show off those teeth. See, your gap is endearing, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but I do think, I mean, this
What
is
if you have
pretty
veneers?
personal, but I think I don't want veneers, but I just want
Why
my
not?
teeth to be even whiter because I feel like my teeth color and my skin color are too similar where my teeth don't, it all blends.
Right.
Wait, you're supposed to
it's like
say
a
no.
nude nail polish.
I mean, I don't agree with that at all, but it definitely is not. Look, I'm seeing your teeth and they look white to me. But
It is so funny though when someone goes, my hips look fat. You're like, yeah.
I don't, it's clearly not true.
Okay.
Because look at how white your teeth look on there.
I'll take it.
Yeah. But I think you should look into veneers. I would. If I was ashamed of my gap teeth
No,
like
I like
you
my
are.
gap.
Well, then
I
why
like
don't
my
you ever
gap.
smile?
I smile. Now I do because I don't know. I mean, if
That
we
top
really want to
lip.
get into it, I feel good right now. I feel happy.
But, you didn't feel happy before.
Yeah, I think I was pretty depressed now that I'm kind of whatever. Quitting Zoloft, I'm not saying Zoloft made me depressed. I think I was numb and I wasn't really realizing certain things about myself.
Huh.
And now I feel like I'm kind of
That-
I just feel good.
You're
just feel good
accepting
right now.
yourself.
Yeah, and I'm bettering myself.
Yes. But you get on these tracks a lot.
I do, but I want to stay on this track. Can I
get
just
it.
stay on it?
Of course you could stay
Because
on
my
it.
teeth look like a train track that's been run over.
Okay,
by a
let's get to
person.
the news.
My teeth are terrible. They're great. Veneers. Cam drip.
all right.
9 episodes. 9
Same
episodes
brain.
is the new.
Same brain. Oh God.
Okay.
I wish we could pair up, like, you know, there's like history things of like what happened to you at this age, and it's like, I wish we could do that for each other, where we can overlap of why we have so many similar thoughts about things and why like so many, even though we're different in a lot of ways, but I think
because the longer we hang out together, the easier it is for us to come up with our own language of what's funny. Because like us saying ham drip, 9 weeks, blah, blah, like that stuff that didn't exist for both of us before with anyone else. And so now it's our own, like I did it with my cousin, my dead cousin. We had a talk called Funty Talk where we would just talk in this weird way and we would laugh at all the same things. Now that language of comedy is completely gone. That kind of comedy we created is gone. Whereas us going ham drip, blah, 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 like that doesn't exist anywhere else for you or I. And so that's why we could do it.
my point though is like, if you go like 1994, this happened. Whatever. It'd be interesting just to overlap it.
I think it would really be based on our comedic influences as kids, or like throughout our life, like what made us really giggle. And right now, it's Seinfeld clips
And a drunk mom.
and a drunk mom.
Let's be honest.
News.
Okay, news.
Okay.
Shit. Noah news.
All right, so this actually segues perfect into the second article, which I'll change to the first. After writing a 300 to 500 word essay on the Nikki Glaser podcast, a bestie named Sarah gets into a media studies major at a university.
And she mentioned ham drip
And she
our
wrote-
own language and all
And
this.
so here's an excerpt. I'm fascinated by the language the co-hosts have managed to create, how they transformed a collection of inside jokes into a form of communication among an in-group.
And that got her in her major.
God, she used the word in group
I know. We have
or
an in-group.
the phrase. That is so great. Congratulations.
She was a great writer. I love that, whatever she wrote.
Well,
we read it.
saw the whole thing, right? I
Yeah.
didn't have time to. I have a real problem. I can't read anything about myself or like anything nice. Like every week, Fanthrax, I buckle, even though it's been chosen by Noah I know it's all going to be nice because Noah would never share anything that was like hurtful. I still can't.
I don't get
handle
anything
it.
hurtful.
I can't handle it. What?
I don't get anything hurtful. I just want to say all the messages are
No, I
really
know.
great. And if there was anything that
guess it's like-
challenges you, I would play it.
I can't deal with I think it's the compliments though. I feel like, and you know what I think it is? I was saying this the other night on my Instagram live. I think I am scared of compliments because I think it gives, then people are going to see that and go, "Oh, she thinks she's pretty sweet. Well, I'm going to need to take her down." Like, I feel like when on my Instagram live, sometimes people will be like, "That song was so good. Good job,
For
Nikki.
every
You fucking
compliment,
killed it."
yeah,
And someone's
yeah.
going to be watching that being like, "No, she didn't. And here's my chance to let her know." Whereas if there were no compliments, the negative person would never talk because they don't need to take me down. Like, I just feel like sometimes whenever someone's feeling too good about themselves, that's when you get the people being like, "You fucking think you're so sweet. I need to take you down." And I would rather never be brought up to avoid those. I realized that my whole life is avoiding people saying mean things about me. Like, even talking about early on, like my fear of presentations, it was fear of boys having to look at me and the teacher yelling at them during talking and then them saying, "But she's ugly." It's always about that. It's real. It's
I would think how people are going to perceive me before I got to a party. Like,
but does that make you worried?
An hour before I got there, like while driving there, I'd play conversations of what's going to happen.
That. But do
in
you
my
have
head.
that where like hearing that bestie that just got through school and did it, does any part of you go, someone's going to see that and go, their podcast, I don't see this at all. That girl doesn't know what she's talking about. It's fucking dumb. And I'm gonna say I think it's like someone. It's gonna trigger someone to be the opposite. Is that why? Do I
get
think
that. I get that with like the success I've had.
I guess it comes.
Just like from afar, people can go,
like,
"Well, this is the reason why he's successful," or "This is." I get those.
The
kind
more
of thoughts.
compliment. I guess you know what I was saying to my
The more
friend,
success I get, the more I think
Ailey.
people are thinking that I don't deserve it.
Yeah. last night I was talking to my friend Ailey. There's a part of my reality show coming out that the intro, they made me kind of do this thing where I'm like, I'm one of the best comedians out there. No one, I'm the most successful comedian out there. I'm one of the baddest bitches. And they made me say all this stuff, Noah. And at the time I was just like, I don't want to say any of this. This is not how I talk. I don't even believe it. And they're like, it won't, we'll pepper it through. It's not going to stop. And then of course the show starts with me being like, I'm the best fucking comedian out there, which is, I don't even believe that. And my parents watched it. And last night they're like, I think you need to take out that first part because it really looks like you think you're pretty sweet. And I'm like, I get that. And I will take it out because I don't think I'm pretty sweet. But what is wrong with someone saying the truth? Because when men do it, we find it quite, we go, they know who they are. I have to say, we need women to constantly shit on themselves. And if they do feel like they're like too badass, like J-Lo or Mariah Carey, they get labeled a bitch or a diva. Yeah. But any man, like, do you think fucking Andrew Schultz saying like, I'm one of the best comedians out there, do you think people would go...
No, they would fucking be like, dude, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Like over the top
now, Bert
bragging.
Kreischer, if he said it, Bert Kreischer has a different kind of humility. He almost has like a feminine humility that is expected of him. Or Tom Segura. Like these guys are sensitive guys, but alpha males saying they're the best, we go, fuck yeah, you are.
No,
and even if I don't think you are, I'm going to believe you are because you just told me. But the second a woman does it, it's like, what a cunt. She thinks she's sweet.
It stood out to me too when I heard the line.
Yeah.
And I just think like, I get because I know you so well, and I know that
that's
you.
That's what I told Ailey. I said, if E needs me to sell myself like that at the top of the show to get people to watch, well, they're not going to watch it because that's not what anything of the show is about. Like if that gets them in, well, then they're going to drop off because very quickly I turn into someone who has like very low self-esteem. Yes. So we're giving them a false reason to watch in the first place, if that's it. If you need to tell them all my impressive things that I've done, show clips of all the things I've done and just have me talking over it like, I never thought that I would do this. Like let's think of a way to do it in a more humble way.
Yeah,
but I do think it's
you could start the show by literally going, I mean, look, I have 3 specials on Netflix. I'm apparently one of the biggest.
You can just say the facts instead of saying the
But then
brags.
There is something, too, about someone that goes, they make so many, like, asterisks of, like, being, but while bragging, but also being like, but I'm humble. But it's like.
I know. We get mad at people if they're too humble because they think they're hot shit and they're trying to play it down.
Yeah, so it's like, but. I don't know. I mean, I think what it does is it sets it up where
I'm telling you,
your fall from grace.
Well, I told Ailey, the woman that I'm communicating about this, and I was like, hey, I've recently seen some people talking shit about me being like, I think I'm famous and all this stuff. Like there was this fucking subreddit of someone who definitely listens to the show because they put it in a subreddit they know I frequent. And they were talking all this mean stuff about me that I constantly start sentences with, I'm a lot more famous than I was before, which... Have I ever said that to brag?
Yeah, no.
It's famous is a thing, like it's not, or being rich is a thing. Like I'm not saying I'm a lot more famous. I don't think I'm very famous, but I am a lot more famous than I was 5 years ago. That's not me saying, that's not the end of the sentence. You guys, I'm so much more famous than I was 5 years ago. That's
You've never once taken I can't think of like one time in my life that because of your fame or your notoriety, you've used it in a way to think you're over the top. Like, sure, like we all have, but like with you could call and be like, hey, I want this. Granted, we got furniture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I did a deal where I
No, I'm just saying though, like you don't wear celebrity like someone in your position would. I think.
That's right.
I really do. I think you are
to not do that because it is. I've talked about before. It's hard when you start. I don't think. By the way, fame is a fucking thing. It's a thing that you can. More people. This is what fame is. Fame is not me bragging. Fame to me, when I say I'm more famous, it equals people who I don't know me. More people. When I say I'm got more famous, it means more people who I've never met know who I am and think they know about me. That's what fame is to me, and that's why I comment on it, because It is a weird feeling, and I'm not playing a victim. It's what I asked for. It's what I always wanted. I always wanted to be famous because I used to think fame was like a cool thing, and obviously it is valuable because you can get free stuff, you can get more money, all these things. But it is a weird thing to have people who don't know you think they know you, and that is not normal for a human to feel. And I don't like it, and it's made. I talked about it on the show before. Like I want to just stay at this level. If I could just sign a contract that makes me like stay here, I would, because I don't want because it just means more hate. People just hate you more. And Ailey wrote that to me. She was like, the more famous you get, I've seen it with everyone that I've worked with, the more people who know you. Let me stop saying famous because people think that that's a brag. The more people who know you, who you don't know, the more people that are going to hate you. It's just the way it goes. And I said, well, I don't feel like this happens to men, truly. I just don't think it happens to men as much. And it doesn't happen to actresses. And I've said this before. It's just, I just don't want it. And there's a part of me like thinking about the nuclear fucking missiles that are probably going to be launched soon. And I was like, let's just bring them on. I just want to go. Like, I was like, and it made me realize none of this fucking matters.
Well, that's true.
I don't want him to bring them on, but I'm like, why am I worried about people hating me on the internet when we could be nuked in 5 days?
You could be, grabbing an AK-47 to fight for your fucking St. Louis.
Yeah, it's so dumb to talk about any of this. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's your real life. The only thing with fame that anytime I think of fame is, and I do this as well, is like you watch something on YouTube, right? And you're like, who's this guy that she's talking? I don't know this person. So I'm not going to listen to anything they have to say or whatever. There's no weight to what they have to say because they haven't had their own special or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Then I go, oh, you're not even listening to me because you think I'm not famous or I'm not good enough without even like taking. And that's where I get rubbed the wrong way, where I'm
because you want more of that clout of like where they just give you the benefit of the doubt beforehand. Yeah. Because they know who you are. Yeah.
Other than that, I don't really, it's not really about like, I want everyone to know me and I want to have all this influential fucking shit. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I just that stuff, that's just ego though.
I you know me, I don't walk around thinking that people know. I never think people recognize me or like, oh my God, I can't go there because people are going to know me. First of all, they don't, but I think there's like been walking around. There's never a time where there's maybe been one time in the past year where I've been like, oh, I maybe don't want to do this thing because, it was at my own show at the casino where I'm like, I don't want to go to the bar because my face is on fucking posters and I just don't want people staring at me and being like, I just don't want to be watched. But that was because my face was on posters all over the fucking casino. I'm not someone who's like, I need to be protected because I'm whatever. It's just, I don't want any of that. And it just really pained me to read someone say that I think I'm like famous. It's not like it was me saying I'm like people just think that when you say you're famous, it means you think you're better.
Yeah.
And that's not what I think, at least. But you know what? That's them putting that on it. And I just have to let go of what other people think about me. But God, is it hard, because when you get more people know you, they really have opinions about you that you cannot. It's like trying to talk sense into someone who supports Trump. It's deaf ears. There's no defending yourself. It's just
because it all goes back to the original thing when you're like talking about like we want someone to complain about, and you're that person to a lot of people that like, oh, I get to fucking my life, like that. They don't want to get better. They don't want to fucking see the positive in you. They want to break down and find the negative in you because then it makes them feel better about themselves. Yeah. And this you're not going to ever stop that.
Me, I'm like, you listen to every podcast of mine. Why? If you hate me, it's the same thing of like, why do you hang out with people that you don't like?
That's what I'm saying. It's
the same thing.
Because
But honestly, I'm so grateful for all the people who do like me, because man, the other night I will say on Instagram Live, we got to go to break. I'll tell you what happened on Instagram Live the other night.
Guys, sorry.
This happens. I'm going to tell you after I get back from break what me and the besties got into the other night on Instagram Live.
It's Monday, so you know what that means.
Oh yeah, fuck. The other night, I went on Instagram Live, as I'm prone to do. Mm-hmm. And you were on with me. That was fun.
Naked.
Yeah, you were naked
and afraid.
That was so fun. I freaking love our Instagram and like
dude.
the besties. We have
I wrote that
20,000
thing on
people.
the story.
I know. I saw a lot of people wrote to you back, being
it
like,
was
"Thanks
like-
for standing up for Nikki, yo." Lisa
And I obviously
Lampanelli.
wasn't doing it for the. Oh, Lisa Lampanelli wrote
Yeah,
that.
she wrote to you. That was
That's
nice.
not why I was doing. I was just like, fucking, just this isn't.
I like
the
how you're like,
place.
no, I wasn't standing up for you. No, I
No,
know.
I was, but
I know what you mean.
I
I know
hate
what you
those people who are like, I stood up for her.
Yeah, yeah.
It
No,
goes
I'm
on
kidding.
to the same thing. I'm the best comedian. We have the same brain like that. Like, but I just wrote it because I was like, I read something about like, I want to suck on your labia or whatever. I'm like, this. First of all,
This
that's
ain't
very
the place
nice
for
of
that.
you. That's
So
very
nice. But
Very
there's
nice.
a different account for that. It's Nikki Glaser.
Yeah. If you're gonna suck on labia, go on to
That's where
800,000.
everyone says that shit.
So I was just like, I just don't want our little world to be, and that's why we keep it private.
Yeah.
To be tainted. Now, don't get me wrong. I can tell. Well, we were going to talk about that. I accept a lot of me and Noah kind of do it, but I do it a lot. I'll go through, there'll be like 80.
A request to become our friend on Nikki Glaser Pod.
And if I had to cipher through of who I think is going to say, I want to suck on your fucking long labia,
You could tell.
it would take me a while. It's a profile of like a dragon cartoon.
Or
And they
a
have
man
zero
on
posts.
a beach with his kid on his back.
Oh, yeah. It's either the most personal,
It's
nicest
a guy with sunglasses and holding a baby.
Yeah, or a guy with like a gun and just another
Yeah.
gun. So
Well, yeah, you put a story out the other day that was like,
yeah, I was
this
just
is
like,
what- you're
look,
gonna get
look,
blocked.
Look, this isn't the place for that. Like, we keep it private to
Yeah, I've been
fucking just
blocking
have
people.
a positive atmosphere. And then people go, "Oh, you can't handle criticism." Can we have a fun place? Can there be a place for fun?
can't
and
handle
just
criticism.
happiness?
Get the fuck out with
IG
that.
Live.
It
yeah, so
was
go ahead, yeah.
so fun. So I played a bunch of songs, and then afterwards we were all just like talking, and I was like eating my oatmeal and like just hanging out, and people started sharing like things that were going on in their lives that like really suck, and like how and their anxieties and panic attacks and all of this stuff. And then a couple of the besties in the chat like communicated about like, I get those kind of panic attacks too, and we were just all offering each other advice, and it was just turned into this like, this one guy was like, my life sucks. No one would ever switch places with me. And then I was like, well, tell me about your life. It can't suck that bad. I was like, I'm sure there's someone in Ukraine who's like arming themselves right now who would kill to switch places with you watching me live on Instagram. He was like, I'm in a bed.
I don't know.
I'm
It's pretty
bedridden
cool.
and I can't breathe and I have like days to live. And I was like, oh, never mind. Like it got to be, but it was just like,
Yeah.
it was just people sharing their fucking feelings and feeling like, and just a girl sharing about how her medication makes it so she can't poop, and we were sharing like different supplements for it was just like
Yeah.
it just felt like I was hanging out with some friends. It was awesome, and it was cool. I just like
And
just
then
like
every
the besties
15
so
of those,
much.
there's just a guy like, hey, let's see your nipples.
I
They're
block
always
them
so
instantly.
fucking. The other thing, too, is like, people go, what, we're joking. You're so bad at joking. A joke is not, I want to see the inside of your pussy and hang it on my wall. Like,
That's actually funny.
that's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
Sorry for being funny. But just see the inside of your pussy. How about
Yes,
that? Like,
yes.
Like, a joke is not
they always
just
do-
your inner thought with your cum in your dick, and it's your grossest thing that you think of.
Yeah, they just always go, I would lick you, I would stick my tongue 6 inches into your asshole and suck a fart out. And you're just like, that's not funny. Like, you're
Yeah.
just trying to say what's been said a million times.
I don't mind funny. I don't mind dirty.
Man,
Obviously,
I
someone
can't
wrote
believe how many of these men have children in their profiles too that write to me.
Someone wrote a message. He goes, "Oh, it's interesting for you to say when you're the biggest creep." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am kind of a creep. I'll be honest. I wouldn't.
No, you're
I
not.
wouldn't label myself a creep." But I
No.
would say that I have creepy thoughts, and then
Who doesn't?
I have dark like humor.
I'm sure you've looked at pictures before and been like, I want to suck that fucking whatever when you were single
you don't
guy, but you don't
yeah.
write it.
No.
We all have these thoughts.
you show up at their house like a man,
You write it in blood
Yes.
on their window.
like
God.
a fucking man.
All right, let's get to our Monday segment, which we haven't had for a while, I feel like. Top 1, bottom 1. This week's category is
Cereal.
cereal. Have we done this
Killer.
before? Even if we have, I
feel
don't
like we
care.
have, But
I don't
We
care.
haven't.
I'll do it again. Okay, Noah's good at
because
checking
we did
that.
talk about cereal at some
Oh
point.
my god, I fucking love cereal so much. I mean, cereal's my favorite food.
Did Seinfeld make you get into cereal, you think? No. Or help?
No, I never really liked what kind of cereal he was into. He was into like Frosted Flakes, I
Do you think
think.
he got paid? Do you think they paid for that advertisement? Eventually.
No. What's your favorite cereal? Or let's
Or
start with
bottom, I
best. Yeah,
thought.
no, we start
No,
with bottom.
bottom,
You're right.
bottom.
Yes, you're right. Andrew.
Can I go next? Can someone else go? 'Cause
I'll go.
I'm close.
I'm gonna go with Captain Crunch. And
As your fucking bottom?
listen, I'm picking a bottom that isn't grape nuts or you know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
this
okay.
is for me. It's just
This is the bottom of the top.
actually grape nuts would be over Captain Crunch because if I'm gonna do a sugary cereal and like really commit to like a fun sugary cereal, I would much rather just say nope. I'd rather just not have sugar and do grape nuts. So I actually would pick Captain Crunch as my bottom.
What about with berries? I'm just wondering.
Berries, I will like it a little bit more, but Captain Crunch, I love a soggy cereal. Captain Crunch, it takes longer to get soggy. It cuts the roof of my mouth. It has a weird aftertaste. I don't like the dust it leaves behind in the cereal bowl. It doesn't.
Leave around so much dust.
It's the kind of dust that makes you like choke like you're in like ground zero at 9/11. It's like asbestos. I don't like it. I'm filing a class action for when I fucking get Captain Crunch lungs someday.
I just see you like trying to get the last few out of the box, and you
Yeah,
come
I
out
look
like
like
you
Dust
walked out, and
Lady.
you're like just covered. Like,
Yeah.
oh, we lost a lot of men in there.
Yeah.
And the captain's like, ugh. Shit. What's your bottom, Noah?
My bottom is either Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles because they have the
What is
same
going
like
on here with you guys?
food coloring flavor.
Fruity Pebbles,
Not a
I will
fan.
admit, there's something that hurts the back of my throat with Fruity Pebbles. Even though I do like Fruity Pebbles, it does leave, it hurts the back of my throat. Fruit Loops, I do not find that to be the same thing. And I like that there's a certain tea that Kirsten brought to my attention that smells like Fruit Loops. I think it's an Earl Grey.
Okay.
It smells like Fruit Loops, and it's fucking, if you like Fruit Loops, check out Earl Grey tea. But I think Fruity Pebbles definitely does leave a weird aftertaste and like a tinge in the back of your throat, even though I would not kick it out of bed.
Well, now this changes my whole thought process because I thought we were going to go like cornflakes for our bottom. You know what I mean?
Well, you can, but it's what you.
I mean, cornflakes would
I hate
definitely.
sugar so
when I
much, so
think-
I'm not gonna. I would never like. I don't want to eat sugar. If I'm forced to eat sugar and a sugary cereal, I'm gonna go with something great.
Yes.
And then if I can't have that great, I would rather just do grape nuts, which is probably the worst cereal.
Any cereal you have
Fucking
to
crap.
add like blueberries or like something else. Mm-hmm. You know, what is that?
Yeah.
Who wants that? Although it's healthy, you
Yeah.
get your brand in or your fiber.
Oh my god, I can't even decide on my favorite cereal. I'm just thinking about it.
It's really making my mouth water.
Okay, what is your number one? What's your bottom? Sorry, bottom.
You know what isn't that great that you would think would be great? Tricks.
I like Tricks. Tricks are for kids.
Oh yeah,
With the bunny rabbit, their tricks are good. I love Tricks.
Talk about a great advertising. Tricks are for kids.
Yeah, just
God, that
anything
was
that
great.
makes you feel
That's what
special.
I thought
like,
Fruit
Mom
Loops
and Dad
was. I
can't
just
have
want to
it.
say.
Okay, gotcha.
Whoa!
So Tricks, I'm
Shots
with Andrew
fired.
on that.
Shots fired.
You thought
General
Fruit
Mills.
Loops was tricks?
We're
Wild.
getting into a battle of Captain Crunch and General Mills.
I would love that. No, we're gonna get fucking emails again. Me and Noah got fucking messages from Zaps and what did
Oh,
you get?
I want to
Someone
thank
chip.
Utz.
Yeah,
Utz
Utz.
Oh,
sent me,
nice.
like,
And Utz
2
makes
jugs
Zaps, by the way.
of cheese balls. Yeah, I saw it on the box. So thank you
Oh
to the
my
bestie
God.
who listens. There's a bestie there that was listening to the podcast, and he or
Fuck
she like they
yes.
could not believe that we were talking
Okay.
about. So thank you.
Andrew.
Oh fuck! Top.
No, wait. What was your worst?
My worst is cornflakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fuck it.
Just
And
regular
Tricks.
cornflakes.
Yeah, just stop it.
I like cornflakes. You put some stevia on it,
That's
and
what
you
I'm
let
saying.
it. I get it. You're talking just plain. I don't. Accoutrement on these cereals is a part of it.
But then you're making it. It's not the cereal anymore. That's a different
I'll still
thing.
take it. It's like I love
like
that
eating a dried-
layered, and like you wait it. You make it sit for probably like 5 minutes, and it gets that. I just love a cereal.
I'll fuck with Frosted Flakes, which is like
Yeah, it's
The
got some sugar
spicy
on it.
brand.
Yeah, spicy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to best. I'll kick us off. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do,
Okay.
and there are no rules, so I'm gonna give you. If I'm going with one cereal, I'm going with Honey Bunches of Oats almonds.
Interesting.
It is
Crunchy.
so fucking
crunchy.
good. I used to eat it every single day after school, like 5 bowls, and that is how I gained about 20 pounds between my junior and senior year. Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds is the culprit. Now, if I'm going with, if we're really going there,
Go there.
I'm gonna go Lucky Charms. Now I'm gonna do a half bowl of Lucky Charms, and I
Okay.
want half of it to be marshmallows, the other half the regular. Okay, I don't want to do all marshmallows. I want it half and half. Then I'm gonna top it off with Rice Krispies, plain. Take down the sugar a little bit. I love a Rice Krispie. I love the way it gets soggy. I love the way it gives some consistency that's almost like gelatinous, and I know that disgusts everyone listening. And then
Wait, more in the same bowl?
I
What
don't
are
know.
you doing here?
I'll just do anything. I'm going to do some Cocoa Krispies to give it a little cocoa flavor because we don't have that going on with any of the other flavors. I might throw a handful of Kicks in it.
Okay, now you're fucking losing.
And then
you're
pile on
You're buying
the
5 boxes
vanilla almond milk. Yeah. Why
to,
not?
to mix them all together.
Oh my God. I just thought of Pops, corn Pops.
You might be onto something here.
Oh, I do a suicide of cereals. You know when you used to do
with all the different
fountain?
sodas.
Suicide of cereals.
Is this a
Kicks.
thing?
I can't stop thinking of cereals. And you know what a really good cereal is? Frosted Mini Wheats. Also, the Mini Wheats that
Is
have
that
a
also
raisin
going in the
inside.
same bowl?
No, because those are more of a savory.
Frosted Mini Wheats, the one side that has the powder on it.
What about the
Why
ones,
are they not both have powder on?
have
Why
you
is
ever
it
had
one
the ones
side?
that have raisin inside the Mini Wheat?
No, that's crazy.
Those are so good. They're like the raisinette of cereals, you guys. Those are like
I don't
really
even know what
slept
you're
on.
I
My
don't
dad
even
used
know.
to get it
That's
all the
a
time.
thing.
Oh fuck. Final thought. Best cereal.
I mean,
Noah.
you took down 6 in one bowl.
I'm sorry, I couldn't stop.
No, I think
this
you're
is why
onto
I can't have
something.
cereal in the goddamn house because I will eat all of it. I literally can't have cereal because I don't trust myself.
Oh, me neither. I buy a box.
And when I was
it's a box.
bulimic-
It's a one serving.
Can I just say,
One
cereal
serving.
comes up real easy
Oh,
because it's
cool.
liquid. I don't mean to. Please, trigger warning. Ham drip trigger warning.
Yeah, 9 months. I mean,
But
episodes.
like, I used to eat a lot of cereal, and then if you've ever been bulimic, I hope that if you have, please, and you don't want to be anymore, please write me, and I'll teach you something that will help you. But to any of those people who are bulimic out there that feel disgusting, I've been there, and like I used to always do cereal because it came up so easy. And I'm not telling bulimics anything they don't know. Bulimics
Yes.
all know which stuff. Apples are a nightmare, and they cut up your throat. And I'm not giving tips. I promise you, I'm not giving tips.
Sounds
I'm
like
just
tips. Shots tips.
no, I'm not giving tips.
Shots
But
tips.
seriously, Rice Krispies and Froyo come up real easy. I'm
they
not
pop
giving.
while
I
they
really am
come
not
out?
giving tips. I promise you. It's also, what's her name died of bulimia.
Tony the Tiger?
I don't want to go to rehab.
Oh, Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, she died
Amy
of bulimia.
Winehouse.
Don't believe the lies about it was drugs and it was whatever. It was bulimia. It's a very dangerous disease that a lot of women have that they're doing other things that they'll be like, but your bulimia is so fucking dangerous. Don't fuck with that, you guys. And if you are fucking with it, don't be ashamed. Reach out to me and I will be happy to guide you in what has helped me
I
with
could
that
see
stuff.
her eating Count Dracula. Remember those?
Oh yeah, because she's got that. It's got goth look
Yeah,
going.
she has a very Count Dracula.
All right,
look.
Noah. On the on
well, guess
after
what my
me
favorite
describing
cereal
throwing
is.
up Count Dracula.
Is it really?
So
Cookie Crisp?
it's not Count Dracula. It's Frankenberry, which is it's like a strawberry version of Count Chocula, but Frankenstein serves it. Frankenberry serves it.
Wait,
And it's
what?
only
I
out
gotta
around
look up Frankenberry.
Halloween now. And I get so
on. Noah has such
ritualistic with
specific
how I eat
taste.
it.
Noah's like a guy buying like
Wait, what is your
Supreme
ritual?
like clothes. Like you
Oh my
gotta
God.
wait in between.
Wait
the,
a second. Frankenberry looks like.
Between October 12th and 14th.
Okay, so you're looking at like it's like Lucky Charms, but it also has the little other pieces are like pink or orange. What are they?
They're pink.
I
It's
gotta
like
try
a strawberry
Frankenberry.
shortcake cereal. It's
Oh
I
my
love
God,
it
does the
so much, and
milk
I
get
try to
strawberry?
separate- Yes, so I separate the cookie part from the marshmallows, and I eat all the cookie part, and then I save all the marshmallow.
And the
I can't believe I just said that. But
Okay,
that's what happens.
I
when
don't
eat that.
love doing sugary cereals, but I'm doing Frankenberry this year. You know what? We got to do a taste test like at a live or something.
On
where
Halloween. I'm
we
gonna
try
send you
Frankenberry.
some.
Looks so good.
Okay, Andrew.
Okay,
Fuck.
Andrew, drum roll.
I mean, I guess, look, it's going to be, this is boring. I know. Come at me. Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No, dude. I
Come
think that
at
is.
me.
We've been sleeping on that one the whole time. It's so fucking good.
When I'm fucking stoned or when I was hungry in New York and I just, once every 4 months in New York, I just was like, I need cereal. And I couldn't even stop myself.
Sorry, that was my computer.
Oh, I thought that was great. That was great though. Music effect.
No, it
that felt
didn't
like,
come through.
you know what it sounded like?
It didn't come through on.
Oh.
It didn't come
but,
through.
It was.
Where you go
It was me-
with my best friend.
It was me learning "She's a Jar" by Wilco.
Oh shit. Anyways, it reminded me of from Big Lebowski of me floating from my apartment to the fucking aisle 4 to get this. Like that would have been great music.
Oh
of,
yeah,
like,
I'm
I'm just grabbing it. I grab chocolate almond milk or no cashew milk, chocolate cashew milk
Oh, hello.
with fucking cinnamon
There's-
toast crunch.
Woo! If you're not doing
Whole box gone.
if you're not doing nut milks with cereal, like flavored nut milks, like a vanilla, almond,
Yeah.
you are missing the boat. I think that soy milk and nut milks changed the cereal game from that just like skim watery. And I know some of you are just whole milk realists. In which case, what are you doing?
Do you?
No, don't do you. We went to a farm yesterday, and we'll
Do
talk about
you?
that tomorrow. We've got a lot to catch up on.
Columbine and goats.
We're going to talk about Columbine. We're going to talk about heavy metal Taylor Swift. We're going to talk about seeing goats and pigs. This would be funny to always tease something that we never get
talk
to.
about.
It's like,
Arrested Development.
or it's like Jimmy Kimmel. Every episode, he goes, "I want to apologize to Matt Damon. We didn't have time." Did you know
he
that?
does? No.
He does that every single show.
But Arrested Development would give for next week, and it never happened.
Oh yeah.
Which is so funny
I
that
like
they
that.
went through the time to make another.
We should do teasers though, where they have to listen to the next episode to figure out something like pretty juicy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we actually will fulfill like a secret or
Next
something.
week, I'm going to talk about how I bought a putter from TaylorMade.
Oh God. Did you really buy a putter from TaylorMade?
It's a whole long story.
Oh,
I don't want to
God.
come at TaylorMade, but me and TaylorMade, we have some issues. So no.
I think my favorite guitars are Taylor's.
well,
Ironically,
and Taylor Swift. A lot of Taylors in our lives. Find out next
you
week.
might be having me on a golf tourney.
I would love for that to happen. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the show. Noah, sorry we didn't get to all of the news. Congratulations to Bestie Sarah, was it, who got into a media program by talking about our in-group, which is sounds almost like a racist term, but it makes me feel so good. Yeah. Anything else? No, don't be cut and jackalope.
It's coming. John F. Kennedy.